gentlemen, we want to welcome you here to Brazil. It's time for the championship to potentially be decided today if things go one way or another. I'm Insane Leader 13, and once again, I'm joined here by XRL Azda. Azda, it's great to have you here again. Hopefully, we don't have any mic issues today like we have over the last several events.
Yeah, hopefully not. I've included my audio definitely, but you never know with Twitch and stuff. So, yeah, hopefully we don't have any issues here today. But yeah, so is it the penultimate? Is that what this race
Yeah,
is
this is
called?
the second last, the penultimate event
Yeah.
of the XRL X3 season. This is also in last year, this is the first race I did for XRL for broadcasting, so a little bit of an interesting reunion for me at least, so.
Yeah, it's can't believe it's been a season, I think. So, yeah, I'm just waiting to get into the lobby as we're waiting for one more person to join. So I'm not in there right now, but I should be in there pretty soon. And then obviously we can get going. So it is 49.
According to the game, we have everybody here. In the Mercedes team, it's Snake and Books. In the Scuderia Ferrari, it's Mission Turbo. Red Bull is being represented by Whippy and Jalbin. McLaren has Careless Jackson, XRL Stumpy driving for them. Renault is being represented by Herbie and Tino Farah. In the Scuderia AlphaTauri Honda team, you have Fratters and Fritz. In the Racing Point F1 team, you have Retrix and Find Waldo, two of your championship contenders. In the Alfa Romeo team, you have XL Cargo, your other championship contender and current points leader, and his teammate Ottowi. In the Haas team, it's Remixo and Boothie. And for the Williams team, once again, it will be Schold and Torpedo.
Yeah, great lineup here today. Also, we have our two point or driver battle going on between Retro Rixie Cargo, and also Famodo as well. But it's going to have a really good race to, be in contention of the title. So I'm in now, so we should be getting away pretty soon. And yeah, we have Jabelland who and also a mixer as well. But yeah, so should be a good race here today. Brazil, it's quite a tight track, but it does produce some really good racing, as Dev saw yesterday.
Hopefully we can get underway relatively shortly as I'm beginning to see all the drivers readying themselves up. Here we are. Now everyone's readying up. Brazil, one of the more interesting circuits on the Formula 1 calendar. It's been all over the place on the calendar, early in the season, late in the season. Nowadays it's one of the last events of the season. Just very, very chaotic event. Unlike pretty much any other Formula 1 track we have other F1 circuits with a lot of up and downhill sections. Spa is a good example. But nothing with as many flowing corners as this. There's not very many really traditional 90-degree Tilkish-like corners here. So that leads to an interesting scenario where you can have drivers who do good here who wouldn't do good at other circuits as often. You also have scenarios where every now and then drivers will have their wheels disconnect in the pit road and crash before they even get onto the track.
Oh yeah, that is yeah. I feel like that is aimed at me because that happened to me last season. But yeah, this track, it's very, very nice to drive, I would have to admit. With say Monaco, it's not very flowy as well. This track is very flowy, it's very nice. If you smooth at this track, you're going to be pretty quick. And also the main parts is obviously turn 1, turn 2, and also the whole of sector 2 as well, as you lose most of your time there. Sector 3 is basically just a little curve and a straight, and sector 1 is just not really that hard either. So yeah, these drivers have got to nail turn 1 and 2 right to, get that ultimate speed through to the DRS straight that we have. Yeah, so, this is going to be a very interesting race of all these very quick drivers and also the not so quick drivers there. We may see a few blue flags here today, as that is a very dark sky.
Ooh, that is Yeah, that's a pretty overcast sky, but for right now, at least, the track will be dry. We have a full field, 20 cars going at it today. Enabling all the telemetry real quickly, so that way we can see what's going on as it happens.
Alrighty, so I hear some cars about to go out now. That is a Red Bull.
Out of the McLaren team, someone's coming out right now.
Both
of the McLarens actually rushing out.
Schroeder's out actually, so Schroeder will be the first person out, and then there's going to be Jackson, and Stumpy. So two McLarens close together. I'm thinking they may be doing some team towing strategy, which is very good. You know, you always want to work with your teammate to get a better lap in qualifying, especially in the higher tiers as well. So yeah, Schold, not a slow driver, so we should see a good time from him, and he will be the first benchmark. And Retrorixie out in the mediums.
He's not out on track yet.
Oh yeah, but he's selected the mediums. And I'm gonna quickly message on the drivers to see what the thingy is. What's it called? Rain, weather. That's it.
And now we look at our first of our 3 championship contenders who are out on the track. That's XRL Cargo, who's looping the hairpin in Sector 2 right now. Getting the slow, gradual increase of speed. You have one more serious braking zone, and then after you come around there, it's almost all full throttle. Now, just because it's full throttle, though, doesn't mean it's going to be easy. The final corner in the Sector 3 can be a little bit difficult if you don't have the car properly set up, but Cargo immediately bins it into the pits. One lap out there, and then immediately comes into the pits. Don't know if he was just trying to lock in a setup or something. But
yeah, he has a polygon.
Oh, so big championship implications there. Because XRL Cargo had... Wait, what did he have a quali ban for?
So I think in qualifying at Mexico, he cut loads of the corners to get back to the pits, and that's illegal to do.
Alright. Well, either way, with Cargo serving a qualifying ban, he is your points leader today, but it's going to bring on some major championship implications because his 2 biggest rivals in the points more than likely will be allowed to get good qualifying runs. And with one of them being Fine Waldo, there's... One second. With Fine Waldo out there and Retro, and Fine Waldo's impressive time that he's been saying over the last few weeks, it's very likely that Waldo could go back-to-back and take home maximum or near maximum points here today.
Yeah, obviously, as we know, Waldo has been absolutely smashing it. I think smashing it is an understatement, to be fair. But yeah, he's been... Wow, that's a great lap time from Booby. But yeah, he's absolutely been smashing it, you know. He's been consistent. He stayed out of trouble. That's the main thing with league racing. You know, you got to stay out of trouble. Don't get wing damage. Be consistent, and you're all set. You're going to be quick. As Cargo's tired, obviously, with having a quali ban. Remixo though.
Remixo, right to the top. So the Haas team, once again, very well represented in qualifying. That's been kind of their story the entire year. We've seen a lot of events where both of the Haas's, whether it's been Boothie, Remixo, or when he was driving with us, WCD Hubert, turning in great runs in qualifying, but in the race has not been able to put it all together. If they could put it together here, I'm sure it would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and it'll be a great morale boost for both of the drivers. But as you know, you said you don't really have a good rate of conversion to quality to race, so yeah. Also, pole time would probably be a 7, as Retrorixie beats Jabellen on the mediums. Wow.
I do have to wonder, though, if maybe the Red Bull Jabellen was having some issues or was trying to alternate setup because he was about about 1.2 seconds off of Schold's time. So I do have to wonder if he'll be able to get out there in that Red Bull and put some better times.
Yeah, could be as who's the next person? I think it's Books. He's going to be next to set of time. But yeah, I think maybe he hasn't yet. He's having a little bit of an issue with this track. Because in yesterday in Dev, he wasn't the quickest either. As Books goes quickest, holy
That's the
moly!
fastest.
And it's a 7.
107.986.
Yeah, that's an
And that's
amazing
the
time.
gradual restoration of Mercedes' ability that we've been seeing over the last few races. It's just kind of a shame they waited so long in the mid-season to do nothing.
For blocking the pit lane. He did what I did.
And there we are. Once again, we see it, a wheel disconnecting in the pit road, and it knocks Tino Farah out of quali.
Oh, goddamn. But yeah, you gotta be very careful with
Good
this
thing
pit
I said
lane.
something about then, otherwise it would seem like it was bullcrap. Now it seems like it was set up.
Oh my god, 178. These guys are pulling out very good times for Q1, I have to say. But yeah, you know, this pit lane is very weird, especially the last bit as well, where you got flat out. It's very scary to do that, and why is there so many people at one place? Jesus.
That's because the disqualified car, Tino Farah, got pulled off the track while still in the pit lane, but the two cars in front were trying to figure out exactly what to do. Tino Farah's car is now totally off the track, but it was holding up a bunch of other cars on that back straightaway.
So, our main odds for this... No, wait, what? No. Let me just start that sentence. Maybe could be championship contender Famodo. He's in an outlap now. I think he did a 1-7 flat in Dev yesterday, if I can remember correctly. I'll have to go over the stream and watch that again. But actually, he is on a lap as well, so I want to see a good lap time from him. But the main story of yesterday was Torpedo. So going into the start of sector 2, where you go in that like really long corner, you know what I mean, don't you? I don't know what corner it is.
Right out the map.
Yeah, but so him and Cargo, he tried to make a move with Cargo and actually put him in a wall. It was very unfortunate for Torpedo and also for Cargo. Obviously, Cargo more worse because he actually DNF. But yeah, it was a very unfortunate incident there. You know, in Dev, we didn't really see that much of incidents. We did see one incident, which was I think, the cargo incident. But we also saw the safety car glitch, and it wasn't really a glitch, as in like a proper glitch. What it was, so I think Famodo was leading it. You back in the pack up, and nobody hit each other, but we all got 5 seconds hitting each other. So you gotta be wary of the safety car around this stuff.
That could end up being a big issue, especially for Cargo, who's going to be starting the back. Famodo sets a time good enough for third, 107.995. He doesn't have to push too hard here. Right now, the main focus is just getting into the top 15, going through there. And we still have 5 drivers who haven't set a lap yet, and then obviously Cargo and Tino Farah will not advance into Q2.
Yeah, obviously, them two will not, obviously, because Cargo's got a qualifying ban, but also Tino Farah disqualified from the session. Next guy across the line is Torpedo, and I think then it's Killer Jackson, but you might be in lap.
Torpedo across the line, very comparable with one of the other Mercedes against cars. Torpedo 7th with a 108.464.
Yeah, not a bad time, I would say. Not a bad time at all. So, Waldo, is he on another lap? He is not. I think he may be going again, actually. Yeah, he is. He's going again. Got ERS up to hot lap mode. So, we will see another lap from him, maybe a better one. XRL with me, though.
Significantly slower. He's significantly slower this lap. But yeah, his upcoming lap, he's probably going for it.
XR Whippy, he's going to actually qualify this time, you know, that's good too. I think Fritz, he is AFK, so obviously away from keyboard or away from wheel or pad or whatever. So he will be doing, I think, late Q1, or I don't think he might even advance Q1. But Whippy, he is starting his lap now. He had a very decent race in Dev. You know, he had a bit of an issue with getting, well, spinning out and obviously it's a wicked way back up. But the person who I really want to see do good in this race is obviously I want Fan Waldo to do very good, but I also want Snake to do good. Because he was significantly quicker than me in Dev, but I held him up so you know we're best mates off track, and I literally said to him, "Oh, Turbo's retired," or in the pits. You know, I'm gonna say, well, Rivals on track, mate. I'm not gonna let you pass on Waldo with a 1:07.8. But yeah, and I crossed up the podium in Dev, which you know he was very mad about, but I wasn't. You know, I held him up. So yeah, hopefully you can have a good race here. You know, Snakey's not had a very good run recently.
Ooh!
Oh, what
Whippy
was
into
that?
the grass there in Sector 2. Yeah, Whippy went into the grass in Sector 2 in the middle. Snake is retiring from the session also.
Yeah.
Just as you were talking about. But yeah, go ahead and finish up your story real quick.
Oh no, I was just saying that, you know, I want him to have a good race. He's had a streak of bad luck Whippy in the pits. I think he's putting on a new set of softs. But yeah, you know, I want the Merc team to do well. You know, we've not had a very good run recently. So also with the Haas team as well, especially Remixer as he just retires in the pits. So he's happy with his time. So yeah, and I also want Retro Rixie to do well as well. But I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll put up a fight with his teammate Fan Waldo.
So right now, XRL Turbo retired. Good job on catching that because I missed it at first. But with XRL Turbo retiring, we're in a very interesting scenario. Cargo and Tino Farah will not advance. We know that. Whippy has come into the pits and is likely going to try and put on a new set of tires and alter the setup because he wasn't able to get a clean lap in. Fritz and Fratters are both AFK, and we're seeing no movement from the AlphaTauri Honda pit, which would make us think that they are going to come out onto the track. Turbo is 15th. If Whippy, Fritz, or Fratters sets a time better than 1:10, which isn't hard, that's by far the slowest time we have. But if one of them come out there and are able to do it, Turbo's not going to advance. But Turbo might be playing the hyper-sized, giga-sized Galaxy Brain move right now by retiring excessively early. But it's a huge gamble. I myself would not feel comfortable or confident on that sort of gamble.
Yeah, he's 3 seconds slower than obviously our Pulsar. Obviously, we know our Pulsar is very quick. But yeah, he's 1 second off Herbie. So that is a very big gamble to do what he's doing. But if it works out, then it's you know, it's all good. It's a very good strategy to do. But obviously, I think Whippy will come out again. As I say that, he's coming out. So yeah, I think Whippy will definitely beat Turbo. So that is good news. Probably beat Turbo out. We don't know just yet. Whippy might, you know, bin it and stuff. But yeah, so I think it's Herbie nearly goes off.
Yeah.
So did you caught
that?
that?
Yeah, I'm following Herbie right now with the broadcast cameras. The Renault team were doing really good in qualifying the last 2-3 weeks, and now today they're having some of their worst qualifying runs ever. Herbie is all the way down 14th in his current lap. It's not expected that he's going to gain much time. In fact, actually, he's lost time this lap. He's stuck in 14th right now. So if Whippy sets a good time and then Fratters...
The game just reset into track, sorry. Yeah.
Fratters is now out on the track as well, preparing to set a lap. So not only is Turbo at risk of getting knocked out, there's also a risk that neither Renault driver will make it into Q2, considering how slow Herbie's pace is. Herbie is about 2/10 off of Calvin's time, and he's having no luck at all being able to improve that whatsoever.
Yeah, Exo Whippy now coming around the final curve / corner, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Whippy now starting this hot lap. We're expecting to, you know, beat Turbo and Herbie. Maybe he might be on like 10th or 11th, something like that. But yeah, you know, he's not the slowest around here, so I expect him to get a decent time. I don't know about Fratters. You know, the thing with Fratters is, he could be very quick. And I mean very quick. But I think with his situation, he cannot really retire. No, sorry. I just saw retire come on, that's why I said He can't really practice that much because he doesn't have the time available, I don't think. So it's very unfortunate that he can't, because he has a lot of potential to be a very quick driver, and also with his recent lag issues, that won't really happen either. But yeah, he can definitely be a quick driver, but just unfortunately he can't practice that much. Whippy now, that is a Racing Point Retro, still letting him by. Good man. So, Whippy, is he going to beat Turbo? Like, yeah, definitely. Holy, that is a good lap time.
Very handily, right up to 7th on the sheets, and Fratters will be the next question. Also of note, Retro continues to turn laps. These are the same tires he started this qualifying session on. He's running mediums. I think he feels very confident in his ability to make it into Q2, and he's using this as a glorified test session to see how the car will handle under medium. So we're likely going to see Retro go for at least one medium stint. That wouldn't be surprising in general, but I think he's doing practice for a medium stint in the race right now.
Yeah, obviously, did I tell you it was dry qualifying dry race? Or did I not?
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, sorry, yeah. It's a dry qualifying dry race. Obviously, it was wet, you go on wet, so it does whatever. But the thing is with strategy around here, you can either do, you do a soft medium, or medium to soft. You can do a 2-stop, but it won't really benefit you that much, because the whole grid is going to be on 1-stop, so, or going to likely be on 1-stop, so, yeah, you know, 1-stop is the way to go here, because, actually, you can actually do, I did it there, medium to hard, because obviously I really messed up my mediums in Q2, so this is what these guys don't need to do.
And there's... That was weird. I saw Fratter's car just suddenly veer out of control on the main straightaway. The car, like, did a lag spike into the inside wall, totaled itself, and then suddenly reset normally on track and got going again.
Oh, that was lagging badly. Oh,
well,
no.
This is the 3rd different instant I've been seeing on track with some sort of lag issue, so I have to wonder if maybe it's not the drivers, but servers. I've seen lag from Herbie as well, also. So, lag may come into play here between Herbie and Fratters. Herbie is on another outlap, and he will have just enough time to set 1 lap. Fratters is trying desperately to set a faster time. The gap between Herbie and Fratters is 3/10, actually closer to 27 hundredths, and that will be the fight for the final transfer spot into Q2.
Yeah,
Fritz has not ever gotten out of pits either, to know.
Herbie's validated, so he won't be able to. But Fratters now currently 3/10 up in his time. Yeah, Fratters is definitely lagging. You don't, yeah. Unless his inputs is really bad. Fratters goes free.
And he's done it.
Yeah. So
and now
Herbie's
that means the
out.
entirety of the Renault team is gonna get knocked out, and he will be going with XRL Turbo and the Ferrari, XRL Fritz, who never even attempted to leave, and then Cargo, who has a quality ban, and Tino Farah, who is disqualified. So
yeah, I think Fritz. Wait, what time is it right now? Give me a sec. Yeah, he's gonna come back at 5:30, which is basically near enough now. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that he had to step away. And he's actually hosting the lobby, so our usual host, Exo Snake, couldn't host it, because what happened was Fradders joined the lobby first, and you can't, like, say, like, I was the lobby host, I can't just transfer it to Snake, and it was too much of a hassle to, you know, make a new lobby, so that may be the issue with Fritz, you know, hosting it, but I wouldn't jump to conclusions just yet, as Fradders has had, you know, a little bit of lag issues over the past week or two, so yeah, I wouldn't put it out that it's just Fritz's fault.
while we weren't looking, Boothie ended up doing the 2nd fastest time, only 1,000th of a second off of Waldo. So impressive run by Boothie there.
Wow. Ooh. Jeez. I would never thought that. Oh my. It's only Q1 as well, so I don't even know what Q3 is going to be like. I'm hoping it's going to, you know, be super close just like that, but it probably won't be. But good to see Bucks up in 3rd. That's very encouraging for the Mercedes team. Snake down in ninth, not very good compared to his teammate, but he can definitely get better than what lap time he's done. Just there. Retro Rixie obviously only a tenth slower on the mediums. I don't think the mediums are actually that bad compared to the softs. So yeah, but I think Retro Rixie is maybe definitely going to get through to Q3, but we don't know just yet. As F1 are you going to sort it out? Lap 1 of 3? Eh? Oh, there we go.
My
Okay.
game still thinks that Careless Jackson has set the fastest lap time, and it refuses to acknowledge anything else.
What, has it got that thing in the bottom where it says Careless Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
108.629, and it will not update. It's been like that for almost the entirety of Q1. I don't know what the problem is.
We love Codemasters! Woo! Alright, so I think that is the Haas of. No, it's Shoals. Oh, no, it's Boovie. Boovie, Eager Beaver out first. We've showed the second person out, and I think that is Phil Shepton out third. So your track looking way brighter than it was before. Always a good sign. And it also means that these guys can set faster times as well. We will see the track being more heated up, and also with air temperature as well.
Now we also get to the point of the event where we start seeing drivers and teams decide what their tire strategy for the race is going to be. We have 5 drivers currently selecting the softs. 2 of them, Carlos Jackson and Retro Rixie, already on the track. The other 10 are all running the medium tire compounds right now. Stumpy is now on his way out of the pits as well.
Yeah.
7 cars on the circuit for the moment.
I was Q3, only 15 at Q2, sorry, only 15 minutes long. So not that much of a time considering. I don't know why, but when you're racing or qualifying, the time goes like that. Honestly, it's like nothing. So the drivers gotta, you know, think about time as well as also tyre strategy as well. Most of the drivers now on the mediums. That's a good shout. I'm gonna be honest, because if you start in these softs, yes, you're gonna be very quick at the start. But then when you pit and you're on the mediums, you're gonna be in a slower tyre, and you know half of the other grid are going to be in the softs, and you're just gonna get left behind. So you know, starting on the mediums isn't a bad strategy, to be fair. But I think maybe. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's I think. Lane getting out of the way.
Gilbert, yeah.
Yeah. But I think Retro Rixie, he's going to start in the sauce. He's going to gamble. But Fine Moldo has selected the mediums but hasn't come out just yet. Let's be now going to set a time here on the mediums.
He'll be the first one, followed right afterwards by Schold and then Carlos Jackson. 108.711 for Boothie. Follow it up with a 108.785 by Schold. Carlos Jackson in the top 108.556. That's on a soft though, so that's an abnormally slow.
That's a good time for Boothie. Sorry.
Yeah, Boothie's playing on a great time. Hey, now Carlos Jackson set another fast lap. They finally got rid of it for me. And there goes Retro Rixie right to the top on the softs, 107.956.
Yeah, that's obviously on the soft tyre compound. We saw what he could do in Q1 on the mediums and things like he would have been quickest on the mediums if he did start on the mediums. Well, for Q2 anyway, if other people don't beat that Carlos Jackson time.
Here comes the other McLaren, 108.005 from Stumpy, so a significant half-second difference between Stumpy and Jackson. And of note, right now, although there are only 5 cars with soft tires, all the soft tire times have outpaced the medium tire times. This sets up for what we normally see closer to the end of Sector 2, where teams, desperate to try and get a shot at the top 10, will throw out their strategy and will jump on softs late in the session. But for Retro, Stumpy, and Jackson, assuming the track doesn't go through any serious change in the remaining laps.
Oh, please don't be the track like King did in Dev. Right, good. Yeah, if you spin off there and you go too far, you get reset the track automatically. So, drivers, if you're watching this, watch out, because if someone does spin and they reset the track, in any of sector 2. When they go too far, they will reset the track, so it's usually not their fault. But yeah, that was really scary for XRL, I think.
The Ferrari of XRL Smith is now in the process of exiting Sector 2 right now, so he's attempting to set a time 52.266 at the end of Sector 2. And here comes the high-flying, hair-raising run down to the start-finish line. He's going to pop the DRS open, and across the line, the Ferrari is going to set a lap time of
a 1:9.070. So between Smith and Stumpy, so 1 second gap nearly. So that's quite interesting to see. And obviously Javelin is even slower than that with 1.8 seconds to Stumpy.
R20 is the next driver that I'm going to be focusing on, although really I should be focusing on
Waldo.
Whippy. Waldo has set a purple sector 2, and he's on his way up. One of the Red Bulls will pull out of the way so it won't not hinder him. This is going to be it for Fine Waldo in the mediums. Will he be able to make it to the top 10? I imagine he should easily.
This is looking good. Wow.
Third, 108.185. And he doesn't need to do a whole lot better than that, because right now the focus is just going to be on getting into Q3 for Retro, Rixie, and Fine Waldo. Atsui, the teammate for Cargo, he needs to get into Q3 so that way he can try and mess around with the 2 racing points to help his teammate. Atsui has a time of 108.509. That's good enough for 4th at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing 2 hot laps on your mediums. You're going to destroy them. Well, that's what Atui's done. So, yeah, Waldo.
Well, his first lap was DQ'd, so.
Okay, that explains it then. But Waldo, what an amazing time on the mediums. Jeez. Yeah, amazing time on the mediums for Fine Waldo.
And Whippy pulled off the track there in Sector 3, so that way the track would be clean for drivers ahead of him. He is now trying again to get a flying lap here. And then Fratters and Books are both on out laps right now.
Fratters is lagging. Oh my god. And send it to someone real quick, because I don't really want to take anybody out. Give me a sec.
So Fratters and Books are now beginning flying laps, and of note, 4 drivers have set laps on softs, and other than Retro and Stumpy, the softs don't seem to be that much better than the mediums around here. Now Dale Bend is coming out onto the track right now to see if he can improve on 109.8, but for the moment at least, it seems like mediums might actually still be the way to go. Actually, I say that Careless Jax is coming out on softs, and Boothie is swapping over her soft tires in the pit lane as well now.
Whippy going to set a lap time of a 1:08.7. I still can't believe that's quicker than some people on the mediums, but I'm not so sorry. But yeah, good lap time for Whippy. Hopefully he can get free to Q3, but we don't know as of yet. Ferris hasn't validated, Books hasn't validated. Remixo, not out yet. That is very interesting from the Hash driver. Torpedo, just about to start a hot lap here on the medium tyre compound. You'd see. What I've noticed from turn 2 is the more confident drivers will try and go flat out, whereas the less confident drivers will lift a bit. And that does cost you a lot of time. But if you don't validate and you stay till you get through the turn 2, then it's alright. So yeah, hopefully Torpedo can get a decent lap. But yeah, I am very scared for anybody who is around Fradders. Oh Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry about my language, but yeah, it's not very acceptable. Yeah, I'm hoping Remixo comes out, because he's a very quick driver. He's also selecting the mediums in the pit. So maybe waiting. Oh, as soon as I say that he comes out, commentator's curse.
I don't think this commentator's curse in that case. That would probably be a commentator's blessing. Torpedo, slowest of the medium-tired cars right now, is a 109.453. So I imagine we'll see him very quickly come in, jump on the softs to try and improve, because right now he's not even close to being in the top 10. Here comes Books as he is preparing to set his lap.
He's gone off.
And Whippy is retiring.
Mitchell's gone off. He's obviously done something to the car. He was backwards, which is not a good sign. But he's underway now. He's got Torpedo behind him, but I think Torpedo's going to improve. He's on an in-lap.
JL Ben has improved up to 10th now.
Yeah, that's on the soft tyre, so I'm just going to make it through. But Mixo definitely going to go quicker than Javelin on the medium tyre. So I don't think Javelin's actually going to get through unless he does another good lap on those soft tyres. So yeah, obviously Fadis, he's very...
Boothie to the top, 107.718. And then Rem has just come across the line. If Boothie is representative of the entire pace of the Haas team, we may see 3 different teams slugging it out for the pole in qualifying 3.
Excuse me, but yeah, we could. As that is great teamwork from there. Boothie letting Remixo have a little slipstream. It's gonna make all of the difference here. That's what I like about X3. You know, if you're in a team and you get along with your teammate, then you're gonna help them out, and that's what I love about it. As Killer Jackson, he's causing yellow flags, but that's alright. So yeah, hopefully Remixo can get to Q3, and then we can have finally a decent starting position for Haas here today.
They've had decent starting positions. The question is going to be, will they be able to convert that into decent races?
Oh yeah, that is true actually. Hopefully they can convert it to a decent race. That's what I should have said.
Well, here comes Rim across the line in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That is not a bad time.
108.316. It's the second fastest lap on the mediums, as we are now in the point where everyone switches over to the soft tires. Smish is on the outside looking in, trying to make something happen with those mediums, but the gap between him and Schold right now is about a quarter of a second. I don't see him gain a quarter, and he invalidates the lap coming through the second to last quarter there. He immediately jumps into pit lane, not going to keep frustrating with him. Fratters is on his way out. He has not been able to set a single clean lap yet. And I have to wonder if all the lag he is suffering may be accounting for that. The lag on his end seems to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah, you know, obviously we want drivers to participate, but if I am an example of it. You know, I had horrible lag. Like, honestly, like, as showed, sorry, he actually goes 6 with 108.2 on the stuff. But yeah, my lag was all over the place. I was in people, like, literally, like, I was ghosting through people. I DNF'd 2 people at Italy. Like, that's how bad my internet was back then. So...
Snake across the line, 108.878, not enough to improve.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, I had to retire in the pits every race until I sorted it, or, you know, I wouldn't even compete. As, you know, I thought every week, oh, my internet's got better, and I've realised when I got on track, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we want fans to participate, but if his lag is too bad and it causes incidents, then obviously the admins and the crews are going to have a look at it and see if he may have to... Ooh, what a wiggle. I don't know if that was live or actual wiggle. But yeah, he's... Oh, that is... Yeah, that's bad. I'm sorry, but that is bad. So, yeah. I say, oh, he goes off. He's hit a wall.
And the car has been totaled potentially for Fratters.
Yeah, it's not totaled, but...
No, he's still going, apparently. But that was a huge shunt, and I thought that
was massive.
Sure.
I thought 2 wheels was going to come off. Jeez. That was...
Well, with only a minute left on the clock, it's not going to matter because he's not going to have the ability to set time. So Fratters is out. Smish and Torpedo are out on soft tires, trying desperately to see what they can do. JL Bend is also out on the soft tires, and I think he'll have time to do this lap and maybe one more. Whippy is already retired and he's out. He's been gradually knocked out, so Whippy will not advance. And Snake is the guy on the hot seat right now. 536. Otway is the other driver on the hot seat because he's only ninth, but only by about 25 thousandths over sync. He needs to find a way to take a little bit more time off that because it's imperative for the Alfa Romeo team to get Otway into Q3 and try to fight with the racing points.
Yeah, Javelin only just not getting through by 10. We jumps to 11, beats his teammate. I think that'll be quite good for them too, you know. They're very close together. We're going to have a laugh and joke about it. But yeah, Javelin, unfortunately, both Red Bulls do not get through to Q2. Very unfortunate, but free tyre choice, you know, what's not to like. Smish.
Torpedo is taking a bunch of time off of his lap. He's coming down to the line right now.
Will it be enough?
Is, I don't think that's going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough.
By closer to 8 tenths.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough.
Torpedo good enough for 13th. What about Smish in the Ferrari? The last driver to see if he can knock out Books or Otway.
Yeah, he's
actually,
1/10.
I think Otway's going to be safe now.
Yeah, I think Otway might be safe now. But
Smish, good enough for 12th.
Yeah, only just doesn't get through. Also, we have Fradders, who's on a lap with no wings.
Railman is on a lap also, but he has lost a lot of time already, so he will not be able to improve. Books has retired into the pits, so he will not go again, and this means that qualifying session 2 is done. Fratter's excessive lag and an accident keeps him from gaining a chance to even set a clean lap. Torpedo, Whippy, Smish, JL, Ben, none of them were able to set times to make it in. Whippy had a time that had him in early on the mediums. He retired very early from the session, though, and it's turned around and hurt him. Find Waldo and Rim, though, once again, medium tire compounds, and that means for Find Waldo at least, he's setting this race up to be like it was at Brazil, where he will dominate by virtue of having softs. If he can qualify on the front row, he could start on the, not softs, mediums. He could start on the mediums and run as far away from the field on the slower tire compounds as he likes, and he's setting himself up to a potential easy victory once more. He'd be looking at what would be, 3 or 4 wins in a row. I think something like that. He is absolutely choked the rest of the field when it comes to his pace now. Books also made it on the mediums, barely, but with Books being on the mediums, that will help him just a little bit when it comes to race pace as well, assuming he doesn't get caught up in an incident. But both of the Haas's, both of the Racing Points, both of the McLarens, both of the Mercedes also make it in. So, a very, very much a team-focused effort going into qualifying session 3 here.
Yeah, I think obviously with our teams that are going to be progressing through, I think our team members, obviously the both drivers, will want to help each other out. So we could see a cheeky toe from teammates here in Q3, and obviously with that massive toe, it's definitely going to help.
It's going to get very interesting very, very quickly here. Of note, the points, I was told earlier, maximum number of points you can earn in a race is 28. Correct me if I'm wrong. 25 for winning, and then 1 point for pole, 1 point for fastest lap. And then if you also have the fastest lap of everyone who doesn't have penalties, you can get a point there also. Am I correct on this?
What is it? Sorry, I was talking to Tom. Sorry.
Points, when it comes to earning points.
Yeah.
28 is the maximum a driver can take at the end of a race, right? 25 for race win, 1 for pole, 1 for fastest lap in either the top 10 or bottom 10, because you obviously can't get both, and then 1 point for fastest lap with no penalties. Am I correct on this?
Yes, sir. You are correct.
Okay. So real quickly, I'm pulling up the current points as they stand for X3 when it comes to the Drivers' Championship. Cargo has 8 points over Retro, and he has 19 points over Waldo. So right now, Cargo he's not going to be able to get max points because he's not going to be able to contend for the pole. He can get maximum of 27. That would honestly be a freak accident. What right now Cargo needs to do is he needs to walk out of this race with more than 28 points over Waldo and Retro. If he can, he will lock up the championship. Of course, earning 28 points alone would be hard, but he has a little bit of a help. He just needs to somehow earn 20 more, he needs to be 28 points ahead of Retro by the end of this race. So basically, if Cargo can finish ahead of Waldo by the end of this race, I'm not saying it automatically goes to him, but it could choke, find Waldo out of the points main positions. Real quickly, just going to bring up points. I'm trying to calculate the points right now, so that way I can see if there's any way that Cargo could lock up the championship today. Again, I don't see it happening, but the closer and closer you can get to it, the better. Right now, I'm following his teammate Atui, who is trying to contend against Retro and Waldo on track, so that way he can hopefully, in his mind at least, spike them and deny pole from one of them.
Yeah, I don't think Cargo will be able to do that, but Jesus, there's a load of people in Sector 2. Fine Mulder, coming to the final corner now. Will he get 7th lap like he did in Death? I don't know, let's find out. So it looks like a pretty good lap here right now. But coming across the line, no, an 8.3 slowest yet. With Retro Rixie behind him doing an 8.4. I think that's because of all the traffic. But I'm not too sure. As Boovy is just making his ERS go up.
Atui right now at the top of the 107.689. The question, of course, is going to be, will that hold? Snake is finally on his way out of the pits as his teammate Books is coming down across the line, and he will set a time of 108.149. So Mercedes being very well represented at the front of the field for now. Waldo has invalidated his current lap, but Retro is on a flying lap and trying to see if he can improve.
Yeah, Retro Rixie and Fine Waldo can definitely improve on these laps. So yeah, they can definitely improve. Books though, looking really good with a 1.81. Remixo going into the 1.7s, and also actually the 1.76, amazing lap time there. And obviously some people were 1.18. I think that was a very big mistake in that lap.
So I just did a real quick calculation. If Cargo walks out of here 5th, he will automatically knock Find Waldo out of championship contention, assuming that Waldo takes all the points available. And a little bit of a hiccup in the Racing Point team, as both Racing Points are trying to get to the pits at the same time, and that's going to hurt them a bit. Boothy has invalidated his current lap, and I imagine he might consider coming in a bit. Nope, he's going to keep going. He's going to keep flying. Snake, the other Mercedes, has begun his flying lap right now, though.
Yeah, Snake, he's going to be looking to set a decent time around here. Excuse me. But yeah, he's got 22 in his car for Valentino Rossi. He's a very big fan of that. And yeah, so you know, he was Constructors champion last year. We also have driver champion last year was Remixo. Also, oh, and that is Groovy, I think. No, it's Rem. Oh, no, it's Groovy, sorry. Groovy has gone off. But yeah, Snake trying to weave through traffic as they try to set a lap time here. But yeah, he's going to want to do a decent lap here. He's gone to Q3 in Dev, got a very good lap time in Dev. He's going to want to replicate that in X3 if he can hold off the pressure of qualifying in X3. Now coming across the line, a 1.8.
It's good enough for 6th. Boothie has yet to set a lap. He has invalidated his current lap as well, so it's really not going good for that other Haas machine. Fine Waldo is on another out lap. He needs to improve by about 6 tenths, 7 tenths, somewhere around there, in order to get the pole. Right now, Atui is sitting on the top, though.
Atui, very comfortable lead. Actually, no, sorry. It's like a 10th in it. So Remixo could definitely maybe find some time here with a good maybe challenge Atui. Obviously, Retro Rixie and Fine Modo had laps, I think he got into traffic as Fine Modo now starting his second hot lap of Q3 here today. But yeah, Fine Modo can definitely improve that lap time. So I would like to see him get into the 7s at least, because I just know he has that type of pace.
He's begun his lap lap. Also, no, his teammate Retrorixie, although the current lap is invalid, it doesn't matter, it's an out lap. He's coming across the line to begin his next flying lap as well.
Yeah, Retrorixie want to be up there as well. I think these two have been very good. I'm just reflecting on the
Boothie is giving Rimisco a bit of a DRS straight. So he's going to have a lot more speed at the end, and Boothie to the top as well. So not only, so he gave up time to get, he didn't give up time, that was Rim. Rim gave up a bit of time so Boothie could get ahead. And not only did Boothie just put the fastest lap of the day down, Rim is going to have a lot of speed to be gaining this lap. He's invalidated already. Curses.
Yeah, but Remixo is probably going to wait for Boothie to get ahead of him, so Boothie can do what Remixo did to him. That's team strategy. This is what I love about
Look out, here comes Waldo.
Oh, Waldo.
Third, it's only good enough for third. This is very uncharacteristic from Fine Waldo. We're used to seeing him dominating qualifying over these last few races. Here comes his teammate Retrorixie now. Only 6, 108.122.
What is going
Stumpy
on
is
with
on an
these
out
racing
lap
points?
trying to see if he can improve. Right now, Stumpy is 3 seconds off of Schold and by far the slowest on the track. He's going to try desperately to improve. His teammate Carlos Jackson is currently 7th. Right now, it's Ferrari Power that has the strongest representation, taking 3 of the top 4 spots. Boothie is coming into the pits right now, but Rim is going to begin another lap. Here's hoping for his sake that it's a good lap. I'm sure he thinks there's more on the table. For right now, in the Alfa Romeo camp, Antwi crossing his fingers, hoping desperately that Waldo is unable to improve. He's coming around right now. Waldo is 9 seconds down this lap, so this lap will not be an improvement for him.
Yeah, fine Waldo. I think... What happened to Boothie? Oh yeah, he's gone in the pit, sorry.
He's just gone in the pits for now.
I thought
Here comes Stumpy. He's up by about 3.1 seconds at the exit of Sector 2. And at the line, will he be able to contend for a higher spot?
Wow.
Boy, does he. He knocks Retro down. So
Retro
108.041.
Retrorixie really needs to get, I want to say get his act together, but he needs to get his act together. You know,
He's down a little bit on time at the end of Sector 1 for Fine Waldo. He's in Sector 2, going to see if he can improve, but he's starting to put some wear on those softs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll say this, Waldo went out there with almost a full load of fuel, though. So the longer and longer Waldo stays out there, the faster and faster that car's going to get, assuming the tires don't go away on him.
He's a 10th up on his time. Let's see what he can do here. We're on the final corner now. Is he going to get pole? It looks like he might not. He didn't run. Oh, no. He isn't running in the pits. What is he going to get? Oh, third.
He's behind both of the Haas's. This could be massive.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Both Haas's in first and second. This is good. This is very good. Yeah.
Lux just had his lap invalidated now. Retro is going to go another lap. He actually improved a bit. He got back ahead of the McLaren, so Retro moved him up into the 6th position. Snake has also just improved up into 8th now. Schold is out on the track trying to see if he can improve. Right now, he's 4/10ths down from Careless Jackson. And Boothie is out for another out lap. He's going to begin a flying lap shortly. Boothie seems to think there's even more to pick up.
His lap's good enough. He's definitely happy with that lap time. He's beaten Fine Waldo.
But will he stay ahead of Fine Waldo? That's the real question.
That is the real question. But
Waldo is on another slow lap. Either he's gonna come. There's a fuel light coming on, so he's probably gonna come into pits. And if that's the case, then that time we see right there will be the best that Waldo can get.
Yeah, he's not going to get enough time to go in the pits and come back out again, so that is Waldo's time. He cannot improve physically anymore. He can't go back out again, so he's stuck to 3rd. But being in 3rd, you're on the better side of the track.
but he's going to have slower tires as well. He's going to be on mediums while almost everyone around him will be on softs. So
Yeah,
that could end up really, really harming him and letting him be open to attack from drivers around him. Remember, his teammate Retro Rixie will be one of those drivers starting on the softs. He might, if Retro can get a slightly better qualifying position, if he can just move up a bit ahead of Books, he would start on the row right behind Waldo, and we could have a teammate versus teammate fight. Time's up, over, plow. Right now it's going to be Books who's coming across the line. He looks like he's actually improved on his time just a little bit out of Sector 2. It's good enough for 5th, so move Books up into the 5th spot now. That's going to be your best start from the Mercedes team, as both of their drivers will make it into the next session. Stumpy is currently in Sector 2 trying to see if he can get back ahead of Books. Retro is coming down to the last braking point. He's up by 4/10 at the end of Sector 2, so this could be a massive lap for Retro here.
yeah, this could be definitely a massive lap for Retro Rixie now as he comes near to cross the line.
Third, he just
Waldo.
knocked. He's going to be right alongside Waldo, and that's going to be huge within the team, because now the question is going to be, what are you going to do when it comes to team orders, if you're going to have any? Stumpy will be the last driver to set a time, but will not improve. So now the question is going to be, oh, Boothie is still out on track, actually, but he's pulling into the pits. Okay, never mind. But now the question is going to be between Retro and Waldo, will there be team orders? Because the two of them can't afford to fight amongst each other too long. If they do, they run the risk of Cargo closing in and getting points and keeping the championship farther away from them. This can get very interesting very quickly here.
It is.
Those three drivers.
It's going to get very interesting indeed. Alright, so we are just waiting for Beavy to get his car actually in the pits and settled, and then we will have a 5-minute break. No minute silence here this week, but yeah, 5-minute break. So I'm gonna quickly get a drink, get some food and stuff like that.
There's your final qualifying order. Haas, row 1, Racing Point, row 2, and then Mercedes and McLaren, while their entire team may have made it in, they're a little bit held back. However, with note, Books is going to be starting on, I believe it's Books. It's either Books or Snake. One of the Mercedes will be starting on medium tire compounds, as we'll find Waldo. He will also be starting on medium tire compounds, so that could be interesting to look at. Scholl gets the Williams represented near the front, and Otwee is going to be right there behind the Racing Points, and he's going to be right behind Retro Rixie in particular, so Otwee might be able to throw a wrench into the Racing Points plans, which in turn would help his teammate Cargo get back up to the front of the field.
Yeah, it would. But look at that, Haas, BWT. That's a great sign to see that, you know, both teammates are on pace with each other. So hopefully that works well in the race, but obviously we can't predict the future. I mean, I don't know if you can, but I can't, so, you know.
Yeah, no, the only chance I had to go buy a crystal ball, I did not, so, because it looked more like it was plastic than crystal.
Alright, so I'm gonna quickly go downstairs, so yeah, I'll be right back.
Alright, we're going to stand by for a little bit before we get the race underway, and I will bring you up on this. Although right now it's extremely, extremely tight between Retro Rixie and Cargo. If Cargo can come back and come home 5th today, he will knock Find Waldo out of championship contention, even if Find Waldo wins the race and gets fastest lap and fastest clean lap. That is a big if, though, and with Retro and Find Waldo not starting on the front row, I think it's going to be a lot harder for them to do it. Also, this could be the perfect chance for the Haas team to finally show off the ability that they have had in qualifying and transfer that into actual race pace. So those are the big things I'm going to be looking forward to here myself. stand by as we should. Excuse me. Stand by as we should be able to get underway relatively shortly here for our race at Brazil.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Stumpy is saying that he anticipates himself going from P6 to P1 the first corner. And apparently we are having reports that they may have to do a full lobby restart because 4 people have had incidents right now. So we're
Uh-oh.
having incidents with drivers getting kicked from the lobby. So they may do a full lobby restart shortly here. No guarantee, but that's the word. That might be what might get done here.
Yeah, maybe. We could see that, but I don't know.
Boofy says, I'm on pole, XRL has peaked, and he's going to retire after this race. I assume he's joking about that, but definitely very interesting. And yes, indeed, it does seem like we're going to go to a full lobby restart here.
Okay, so I will leave the lobby.
Yep, I'm leaving also, and hopefully they'll send a invite sooner rather than later so we can get and see the actual thing itself. Also, we're getting word that the lag that Fratters was having, not Fratters, who was it that was lagging real bad in Sector 2? I mean qualifying 2.
Fridays, and he said Herbie, but I didn't see Herbie lag.
Alright, well, we're getting word that they're still going to let Fratters race because all the reports are coming from us in the booth, and the drivers themselves aren't seeing it. And so he's still going to be allowed to go ahead and race, or at least attempt to race. So yeah, this could turn into be a very, very interesting race. Also note, because Cargo's in the back, Brazil has had an history of accidents going through the first sector on the first lap. Cargo's gonna have to be very careful and either commit immediately to overtaking or commit to hanging back and avoiding incidents ahead of him, because he's in a position where he needs to get into the points paying positions one way or another. There's no way around. Even if he can just get 1 point from finishing 10, it would help him significantly. Now, if he can get 5th, he would be able to take Find Waldo out of championship contention, and that would probably be the dream, because right now Find Waldo is the fastest of the 3 when it comes to the pace relative to the last few events. But even if he can't do that, just gain as many points today as possible, and hoping his teammate Otwi can deny the racing points as many points as possible will be extremely, extremely important. So.
Yeah.
Still waiting on a lobby invite myself. So.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go quiet on this end and just play some of the music that we do every now and that we do at the start of the race at the end. Just gonna let that kind of go for a while. All right, still standing by. I'm waiting for a new lobby invite for the new lobby. After officials decide due to issues with drivers getting disconnected, they are going to set up a brand new lobby. Still waiting for an invite so we can get in on that. Not a word when that will or won't happen yet, though. Well, this could be interesting. You get an invite, Azza?
Yeah, I'm in the lobby now, so I invited you.
Alright. It's not letting me join. It's just leaving me on a loading screen for right now.
Why is it saying loading?
Joining session. Please wait.
Yeah, it'll take quite a while for it to do that. Hopefully you can join, if you can't restart your game.
Alright, I'm here. Thank God. Sorry for the wait, everyone. We should be underway for the race itself very shortly. Hopefully everyone's properly carried over their tire choices and race strategy. We should be looking on a full, clear, and dry race today at Brazil. Still waiting on one of our AlphaTauri drivers, apparently. Don't know what's going on there.
Who is another AlphaTauri? I don't know.
Fritz.
Oh yeah, Fritz.
I don't see him in the lobby right now.
Yeah.
The game what? But well, good thing that none of us are doing broadcasting for X2. Otherwise, we'd run the risk of X2 bleeding into X3 bleeding into X2. Herbie, I think it's a different story. I'm pretty sure Herbie is still going to be doing broadcasting for X2 on the other XRL channel in about an hour and 45 minutes time. So he might be in a different position, but hopefully it doesn't end up being too much of an issue. And all said drivers are leaving on my end.
What the
Are they
fuck?
trying to set another lobby up?
I have no idea. Give me a sec. Is that me or did I just get kicked?
Kicked out of game.
Yeah, it says Xbox Live.
Yeah, everyone just got grouped kicked. So
We might have to do what we did in France and wait until the season ends and redo this race, which will be quite annoying. But
I mean, that would just mean we'd be off this week. Next week we do
Abu
Yas, and then the
Dhabi,
week after we do
yeah.
Brazil, because we're so close to the end anyway. Apparently, they're gonna try and make Snake the host because they think that some of the issues may be because they're having a different driver doing the hosting. I don't know how accurate that may or may not be, but that's apparently what they're going to try and do.
Ah, another lobby. Jesus. Right.
Alright, should get an invite relatively shortly from Snake or someone else who was nice enough to send me an invite, one of the two.
You get my invite instead. Yeah.
Yeah. Still trying to get the lobby properly set up for today's event here. We've already completed qualifying. It will be a 50% long race. We have 3 different drivers contained for championship. The championship leader ended up not being allowed to qualify, starting a quality ban, so he's going to be starting 19th. His 2 rivals will be starting 3rd and 4th, though. It's also a front row Haas lockout, so absolutely outstanding job by the Haas team. And then we're also looking at this would just be a very interesting race. Real quickly, Azza, I assume you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, what's the difference going to feel like between the hard and the soft, not hard and soft, medium and soft tires here at the circuit?
Well, to be fair, the house didn't feel too bad, but you know, oh, um, they feel really good, but you lose a lot of time on them. So they don't feel slow, but you're gonna be slow. So only going hard if you really have to. But these guys get fresh tires anyway. So from quality, you don't really need to do degradation of tires. So these guys can easily do medium to soft and soft to medium. Alright, what a hectic night.
Just a lot of chaos from F1 2020 servers. And yeah, there is a very, very serious threat that if this continues to happen, or we get into the race and there's a lot of yellows slowing this race, we could be looking at X3 bleed into X2. Again, I'm not 100% sure if Herbie is still going to be doing broadcasting for that race, but do you know if there are any other drivers here who also might be doing things for X2?
I don't think so. Because X3 drivers cannot reserve to X2. So I don't think anybody else is going to be affected by that other than Herbie.
Alright. Well, us in the broadcasting booths, there are 2 broadcasting booths, one in America where I'm at and one at in Britain where Oz is at. We're really taking social distancing things seriously. And we'll be here as long as it takes to get to the end of today's race. Also, we're still set for Australia, which is absolutely fucking hilarious in my... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse there. It's absolutely bloody hilarious in my mind. We are also still missing 3 drivers. Turbo's teammate is not here. We're still missing Tino Farah. And we are missing our points leader, Cargo, at the moment as well. So... mean, granted, Cargo and Smish in the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo are both in the lobby. They just apparently haven't properly selected their cars or their tires or anything like that yet. And again, we're still stuck in Australia right now, and we need the game to be loaded to Brazil.
I mean, it would be nice.
I prefer Brazil over Australia. I don't mind Australia, but I think the Australia circuit is very much a middle of the road F1 circuit. I think Brazil is significantly superior.
Mm. Everybody's in now. Just need 2 people to select their cars and we should be ready to go.
And select the proper track.
Yeah, and the track.
Alright, everyone is in their car now, and we should be underway relatively shortly here at Brazil. At least we should be going. There we are. Everyone's readying up now. Are we missing a driver again? Oh, Rem had problems getting in the right car. Okay, never mind. Sorry for the extended wait. F1 2020 servers apparently are not as steady as we were hoping today.
Alrighty, I am back.
Do me a favor, Asda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna focus on the front. Can you keep focus on Cargo and everyone in the back of the field?
Yeah, sure, no worries.
Much appreciated.
Hey man, no worries. We work as a team.
Hell yeah.
Teamwork is a dream. No, what? No, that's not the phrase, is it? Dreamwork is
How did
teamwork.
you botch that? How are you still botching
I don't know. Teamwork is a dreamwork. Is that it?
Shrek was made by DreamWorks. There, it's good enough.
Yeah. Jesus.
Anyways, getting underway here at Brazil for the race.
I'm wondering if we
Fingers
have...
crossed that we won't have a large accident in the first sector on the first lap.
Yeah, hopefully not. But obviously, as you know, Brazil is a tight circuit. What was I going to say? Yeah, so Brazil is a tight circuit, so we're going to have a little bit of contact, I don't think, but hopefully not a massive crash. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a break here to let the drivers get the setups on, get tyre sorted out. Obviously, if you're in top 10, you got to know. So the tyres that you qualified on, obviously everyone's tyres now are going to be fresh, so no tyre wear on them whatsoever. So that is an advantage of this mess that Codemasters has made us have. But yeah, we're gonna take a few minutes now just to let the drivers put the settles on, and then we should be getting away. Hopefully green racing in turn 1, lap 1.
Gonna be very interesting. We have 3 championship contenders to focus on. We have Haas trying to potentially make the result happen that they've been fighting for this entire year. Mercedes is trying to continue their late season ascension. It's too late for them to really alter the team standings in the manufacturers championship, but that is what we're looking at. They're trying to change and turn things around here after completely collapsing in the mid-season. Earlier on, it looked like it was going to be a Mercedes lockout for the Drivers' Championship and Team Championship, but between driver swaps and a total collapse mid-season, that's very much out of the question now. So,
And it looks like we actually have some issues. It looks like Remixo is now at the back of the grid rather than P2. Cargo is now P18 instead of P19. And we can't do another restart because we're 25 minutes behind schedule.
So they're not going to, and that means that Haas, by default, is going to have the race taken away from them.
One of the Hasses, yeah, so, yeah.
So this could get very, very interesting because what they could do is, instead of going right at the line, they could take one pace lap and try to reorganize the field during that. That could be an option if they wanted to.
Yeah, that could be an option, but I'm not too sure just yet about what's going on. So yeah, we'll have to see, but yeah.
Of note, if rim is kept in the back and they don't fix anything, that would move Retro Rixie up to start on the front row, and then you would have Find Waldo, who would be right behind Boofy at the start of the race. So one of the racing points would end up on the front row in that scenario, and that would massively, massively help their chances in the championship. Depending on how the officials decide to address this, that will likely have an effect on how the championship goes down. So there's quite literally, I know it's going to sound dramatic, but quite literally the championship is basically at this point not in the hands of the drivers, but might be in the hands of what the officials decide to do or not do. And I myself would personally hope that worst case scenario, I'd have a lap that's one racing lap shorter, and we run lap under a artificial yellow, so everyone could get their positions properly given to them. That would just be proper and fair for everyone involved. I know real life is not fair, I know racing itself is not fair, but you should at least give people the spots that they were given and not something else. But we're going to find out what the decision by the officials are very shortly here as everyone is beginning to ready up. And it's not only Remisco and Cargo who are having issues. Apparently Jalbin also ended up in a different starting position as well. So just this game seems to be held together by duct tape, spit, and a lot of hope. And sometimes there's not enough duct tape or spit, so...
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for everybody, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's not our fault, and, yeah, so we're going away pretty soon. I might have to go mid-race, but, yeah. So, 5 lights, and away we go, finally, for our first lap here.
And they're just going to go right off the bat, and immediately Boofy gets knocked out of the way, and Find Waldo is knocked off the circuit. Boy, way off the track.
Really got around. Really dead. No.
And our pole sitter is out of the event, and Find Waldo has fallen all the way to 14th. It's now Retro Rixie who is in the front, and that is going to be a virtual safety car. And now a bunch of penalties forming in the back of the field for incidents that happened under the safety car.
That is not good, but now Cargo is up to 12th place already. So this is very good for Cargo here. He's up 6 places. Fine Modo obviously had that spin. He's now down to he's now down 10 places here. This could be getting very interesting.
And they're going
here.
green now.
Going green here, and yes, I'm gonna keep my eyes on Cargo when you keep up front.
Alright, Galvin has just gotten by Smish, and now Smish is finding himself under threat from Fratters right now, as they're making the run up to the front straight here. Neck and neck. Side by side, the Ferrari's got the inside. And on the outside, it's going to be Smish. And it's looking like it will be Smish who will get ahead. The Ferrari is not as well maximized for that straight line speed. And there's a car who's sideways, and that was awesome. That's somebody who went around there.
And Whippy is looking at Cargo, and obviously Whippy did
now Waldo
spin.
is up to 11.
And now
Whippy
Cargo.
spun, Cargo's involved in it, and now, wow, one of the Ferraris, that Smish nearly gets turned by the Williams. There's wing damage on the Williams of Torpedo now.
Oh, Smish! Smish is lagged. That was...
He's been lagged out of the session, so now that's an AI who has taken control of that car.
And now Whippy has got severe wing damage here, and obviously Cargo has as well with the collision with Whippy. So I think these two are going to have to pit here. So it's not very good for Cargo, not very good for Whippy. And now it seems like Cargo and Whippy are getting overtaken by everyone with full wings.
Snake has just gotten by Fratter, so moves Snake up to the 6th position. So Mercedes on a small recovery drive, but Retro Rixie is gone. There is no one even close to him right now.
Yeah, Fine Modo doing an amazing recovery drive here. Smish,
3 wide!
3 wide.
He's making it 3 wide on Herbie and Smish to move Waldo from 11th up to 9th now.
What an amazing overtake. This is flying right now. But Cargo in the pit, same as Whippy. Both got good. Actually is at the bottom. So is Turbo. Tina Farr up in position. Bucks down 12. It's not going well for any of these front runners. What we're gonna be front runners here today.
Now for Fine Waldo, the recovery drive is in effect. He needs to get as many points as he can today, so that way he can get a chance at winning the championship next week. His teammate Retro Rixie, though, is putting a threat on Waldo. If Retro was to win this race, and Waldo doesn't get very many points, if any at all, Retro could not only inherit the lead, he himself could lock his teammate out of the championship. So things getting very, very interesting here. Fritz is right behind Smish right now, and now that DRS will begin to activate, I believe this lap, we should see Fritz be able to get alongside Smish down the straight. Here's the DRS open. The AlphaTauri is going to look to the outside of the Ferrari. Fratters now has a time penalty for track violation points. He's up in the 7th position. And getting those penalties already this early is not going to help whatsoever.
Previous obviously left session as he did DNF before. Snake now has got Patrick Bellin. I just want to say, XRL Stumpy in 2nd place. Amazing couple of laps, a couple of first laps from him. He's keeping up with Retro Rixie here in about a second, but he's still in DRS threat range here.
In fact, he's not only just keeping up, he's actually closing in on Retro right now.
Yeah, and that could play a big part with Cargo, so you don't want to get in dirty with anyone, especially on any tyre really. So if you're getting dirty and obviously Retro on the softs, so that's even worse. So it's going to make Cargo maybe be back in contention, but I'm not too sure he's going to have a massive recovery drive from this, unless there's a safety car.
It is Brazil, and a safety car absolutely could happen. Last year there were like 3 different safety cars.
Remixo
down
as well. No, Remixo backs out of it. He's going to go down the side of Torpedo to get 10th place. Backs out and knows better. He's going to have DRS now. He's going to make a full overtake here. It's got massive. This is what happened last time. Torpedo, yeah, knows better. Didn't take Rem out. And now...
Torpedo nearly took Rem out, though, coming out of the corner. The track is narrowed up a little bit more than that Williams was expecting.
Eto Smith joins back now. He's going to get back control of his car. Now Remixo's going to be looking at 9th place here. Is he going to try and get Herbie into one of these corners, brake late and then go too wide here? He is not. He's going to be patient and probably wait for the zero straight, which is a nice move. Good thing to do, as you obviously know you don't want to get wing damage.
Stumpy is closing in on Retro. Will he make a move in the turn 1? I personally don't think so, but he's putting the pressure down. And
Retro
not only that, he is
locked
being
up.
Stumpy is also being very aggressive on track limits. He's dipped his tires into the grass on the outside turn 1 for 2 laps in a row now. He's got DRS. It's going to be neck and neck for the top spot between the McLaren and a Racing Point.
Oh, very close. He needs to go too wide, but Stumpy has the better line, has the better traction, and gets ahead for now. Only for now. Obviously, they've got a pit stop to go here, but Stumpy needs now to very quickly get a gap to Retro XT here.
Cargo has gotten by Torpedo, so he's up to 15th, but there's a massive gap between Cargo and the points paying positions right now, and he needs some miracles to happen if he's going to earn any points right now.
Yeah, so it looks like Fan Motor and Mixo are very close to each other on track. These two drivers, one of the quickest drivers on this grid as of now. So they're going to be hunting down Jabal, and obviously Mixo is on the softer compound and also the quicker compound, but it's also going to wear way more than Fan Motor's mediums. So Fan Motor's going to really want to get past Jabal, so Jabal can hold up a Mixo. But I don't think Jabal will hold up a Mixo.
Oh, Herbie making a huge crossover dive on Fratters and then backing out of it at the last second, but Fratters had a mistake going into turn 1, and Herbie is still there. He'll have another shot to DRS on the back straightaway now.
Is he going to make the move into this corner? He's going left. He's braking.
He's on the inside. They made contact.
No.
It's still Fratters in front.
Still Fratters now, but I thought they were going to go too wide. Jesus. I was like, hell no. But he's Herbie going to dive into this one. Oh, I think
Fratters.
Fratters.
Stumpy is now left.
Yeah, Stumpy is left. Fratters is lagging, I think. For me, he is.
Fratters just lagged behind Herbie, so
I don't know whether Herbie needs to clip that if he did.
Oh, now there are 2. Now he's lagged behind Fritz.
What is going on? Anyway,
farther up, Stumpy has caught Retro Rixie, and now Retro is fighting back for a lead. Yeah, Retro's going to take the lead. Careless Jackson and Stumpy just not able to make things happen, so now both of the McLarens are trying to figure out a way to get back by the Racing Point. Careless Jackson is the one right behind. He looks to the inside, going through the corner. Gonna be neck and neck, and he pushes him off. A little bit of contact, Retro goes off. Careless Jackson sees that, gets off the throttle to give Retro his place on the track back. Schold has closed in on this battle. As in fact, not only is Schold closing in the battle, Schold has actually overtaken Stumpy in it all.
Now
Snake is closing in.
Yeah, now since all this has gone on, Rem or Remixo has got past Fan Motor and Jabalen. So now if Walder's pressure to get past Jabalen and Remixo to try and get into this real good fight with Stumpy, Snake, Schold, Careless Jackson and Retro Rixie.
Here comes Careless Jackson. He's got the DRS. He's going to make a dive to the inside, going down the front straightaway. At the line, Careless Jackson leads, but under braking, will he hold on to it?
He will.
The answer appears to be yes.
This is amazing racing. These are the type of guys that we have never fought or rarely see. At the front, Retro Rixie also has DRS. Careless Jackson doesn't.
Schold has DRS as well on the leader, so he's trying to close in as well.
Stumpy is going back. But yeah,
Stumpy has Remixo right there on his inside, neck and neck.
Is he gonna yield?
That's Fine Motor behind him.
That is Fine Motor behind him. You don't see these two drivers are very closely matched. Fine Motor actually didn't moan. I'm round the outside of Stumpy's AI. I think that's his AI. Yeah.
No, that's the actual driver himself.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
his AI.
No, he is AI. He hasn't got back in his
No,
car yet.
Stumpy, I got the notification like 15 seconds ago that he joined the battle.
Yeah,
so it
but
is him.
he's got a red X, so he hasn't actually jumped back in his car yet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah. So Rem and Wardo now trying to do, Wardo trying to do a recovery drive. Rem up 15 positions from last place. Amazing drive.
Retro has DRS on Carlos Jackson, but not enough to close in and make an attempt for the lead. And Schold is in DRS striking range of Retro Rixie as well. But it looks like this fight for the top spot might go on for a little longer. Also of note, Cargo is starting to close in on his teammate Antwe in 13th. The gap between the two of them is 6.7 seconds right now. The difference, though, is that those two drivers both had to change wings, repair damage. Cargo is on softs, Antwe is on mediums, so...
Yeah, I just expect Cargo to really get out actually with those soft tyres, but it doesn't really seem to. Obviously, actually he's fighting with Smith as well, so I thought he'd be doing it even
using
more.
the DRS. Antwe's using the DRS from Smith to stay ahead of his teammate.
He's hit the wall. And that is I can't see, I'm not getting any notifications. Is that
Virtual safety car?
Virtual safety.
Yeah, it's a virtual safety car.
Okay.
But that will not take Teo Far out of the race.
Whippy, 5 seconds. Speeding in the pit lane. Wait, what? He's not even in the pit.
I got that notification back there on lap 2 when he pitted then. So, yeah, we're having a lot of issues here as well. Remisco and Stumpy have just decided to both pit, and both of them are putting on hard tires to go for the rest of this race.
Yeah, they definitely can do the rest of the race now. So they ain't about
Smith drive-through penalty, speeding under safety car. That's weird because, yeah. So hard to keep track of everything that's going on. I won't lie, I'm honestly struggling a bit. Now Teo Farah has a time penalty, but the thing for Teo Farah, yeah, he might get a penalty for track violations, but there's no front wing on that car. There's not much that he can do to control it right now.
Yeah, so Smith has got a panel drive through. Fritz has got 5 seconds, speeding in a pit lane. Whippy's got 5 seconds. King Farah's got 6 seconds. Torpedo's got 3 seconds. Stumpy's got 3 seconds. King Farah's retired in the pits.
Here comes Schold making a dive on Retro. He thinks better of it at the last second. But Schold and Snake are right there, ready to take second from Retro.
Schold right on Retro Rixie's transmission here. Retro is going to go defensive. Can't go too defensive through it. Schold now just side by side gets
Retro goes
wide. And Schold now in second. Now Retro Rixie is going to be under pressure from Snake in the Merc. And now Modo, he's catching up as well. This could be a very, very good battle here. And Snake needs to get past Retro Rixie to basically hold it up, really.
The sooner Snake can get by Retro, the later it's going to be before Waldo can actually start putting any pressure on that Mercedes. Also, note your points leader going into this race, Cargo, is up to 12th position right now.
Actually pitting on wet. Actually on wet. That has got to be a mistake. That's got to be a mistake.
He's already out of the pits.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yep, he's on wets.
Why?
I think because when you change your tyre strap, it's gonna. He's also done it by accident, and it's put him on wets.
Well, he was already 17. Now he's gonna fall to 18. He's gonna be a lap down, and his ability to help his teammate Cargo is going to be basically non-existent at this point.
He needs to get out of the way. Yeah.
Retro is still right there on Schold and still has Snake on him. But Waldo is just about caught in this battle as well. Antwi has a 3-second time penalty, but again, he's on the wrong tire compounds. I I think being on the wrong tire compounds would be penalty enough, game. You don't need to keep penalizing him.
Fine Modern now caught up quite nicely to the back of the field here, so he'll be contention, and he's on the medium tyres, so he can go significantly longer than the soft tyres, should I say. Pit window open now for the hard tyres, so we should see some people maybe pitting soon, excuse me, for the hard. But yeah, and that is actually, he's gone off at the last corner. I think he's letting people by. I know it's in a Fernando Alonso or Kimi Raikkonen. I don't know which one it is, but yeah, probably Kimi Raikkonen. But yeah.
10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, but he wasn't gaining time. He was moving out of the way for other drivers.
Yeah.
I do hope that gets looked at and taken off after the race, because that's just the game being stupid and not being aware of what's going on. Snake has an issue. He just pulled over and let Waldo go right by, and now R20 has DNF'd from the session.
Yeah, it does happen. He's not very happy. I think Snake did let Fine Waldo by because he noticed he's in championship contention, which is very nice of him to do that. And that Fine Waldo can fight his teammate and ultimately try and get a win. It's actually no. Shoal.
Retro is pitting, as is Shoal, as is Carlos Jackson.
Grandmother's leading now. He needs to pull a massive gap. But, oh no, actually his AI is coming out. Is he going to hold him up? No, he's not. He's all good. He's fine.
Waldo will be by before the AI comes out.
Yeah. But, I think Fine Waldo needs to pull a massive gap now. The biggest gap you can ever pull.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for him. I think he's easily going to pull that gap because there's nobody around him.
Nobody around him, freer, got no worries, just chilling, vibing, doing his thing. He's gonna... What?
He might be... you said vibing, I did a vibing noise. He's going to potentially win this race after coming back from a lap 1 spin in turn 1. Yeah,
he went all the way to, I think it was 19th or 20th or something like that. And he's had an amazing recovery drive. So my hat's off to him, and right now he is my driver.
Also, Carlos Jackson and Shoal and Retro and Snake all decided to run the hards now. So they're not betting on pitting any more times during this race. This is going to be the tires they run to the end. Or Fine Waldo, though, he's going to be able to run these mediums as long as he wants. Then he'll probably throw on softs and run softs to the very end. So on pace alone, Waldo automatically is going to win this race. Despite getting spun out and dropped to the back of the field on the first lap, he's more than likely going to win this race.
Yeah, you know, he's pulling a massive gap already. As you know, Fritz is actually fighting Jabala. That's helping him even more here. But he's literally just cruising. Remixo though, he is on a very good.
Fritz on the outside of Kelvin. Is he gonna be able to make it stick?
Oh no, nope. Not too wide through here. Come on. You're better than that. Thank God. Yeah. Gabellin doing a nice defending. Very good.
Oh, they made contact!
Yeah, that was no wing damage, fortunately. But yeah, that would have caught off quite a bit there. Remixo, he's caught up to this fight as well. You know, Remixo, he's done very well. You know, he started at the back and he's down 4th. If he can keep it and get a podium, he'll be my driver of the day, as well as Waldo. I don't think you can vote for 2. So I'll have to, you know, pick out. Yeah, those are my 2 contentions as of now.
Fritz is coming into the pits. He's run 15 laps on those softs. He figures it's time to give it up.
Yeah, they'll definitely be hurting him now, so that's a good time to finish lap 15. Obviously, he doesn't have full racing conditions, so it has helped a little bit, but time to, you know, put on the mediums or hards and go to the end. But Fine Waldo now cruising, like he's like one of them chilled out guys on a massive multi-million-dollar yacht that has no t-shirt on and just drinks champagne.
So you mean Kimi Raikkonen at Monaco?
Yeah, he's chilling, you know. I mean, he hasn't DNF'd yet, but yeah, he's literally just chilling, you know. Obviously, him doing this is not easy. He's probably thinking, how can I take this corner better? How can I be more consistent all the time? You know, people often think that like sim driving is easy to walk in the park. It really isn't. I will tell you that right now. And there's a massive fight at the back actually. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4 car fight.
Bugs, Fratters, Fritz, and Smash all on top of each other. Also, note Sheldon, Retro, Rixie are right on top of each other in the front of the field as well. Also, your points leader Cargo, he has made his way up into 9th place. He is in the middle of pit stops, and he will lose several of those positions without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a great race for Cargo. Neither for Wiki, as he had, it wasn't anybody's fault. Wiki does, and he's 75 second Wiki actually. But yeah, it wasn't Wiki's fault. You know, he got a little bit loose, and Cargo didn't see him coming straight back onto the track. When your car gets loose, you have no control over it whatsoever. So it's no one's fault. It's just unfortunate, and these things happen. Also, with Cargo being at the back, he's not used to being there. So, you know, he has to take more caution than he would have liked at the start. Couldn't have been too aggressive. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate for Cargo, but I'm very happy for Fun.
Right now, Fine Waldo's biggest rival on track is going to be Remixco, because when Waldo does eventually make the stop, Rim is going to overtake him, but Rim is on hard tires that he's likely going to try and make last to the end. So those are not going to be happy tires by the end of the race.
Killer Jackson just got past Development on those hards here. Also, Jonas going to have the DRS into the next DRS straight. Is he going to make the move? I think he... No,
He's thinking about it. He's going for it.
That was a very nice move. Oh no, Killer Jackson goes back at him.
Jailbit doesn't have, and he's off, and Carlos Jackson is off.
Yeah.
And that's a yellow flag in Sector 2, and Carlos Jackson has just damaged the front wing of the car very badly. He's going to lose a lot of positions from that. Please, game, don't disqualify him. You've done enough stupid stuff to drivers already. Please don't screw over more drivers' days.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get disqualified, but yeah, that wasn't anybody's fault. Carlos Jackson just got on the curb, just hit the wall. It's nobody's fault. It's not Javelin's fault at all. So yeah, just keep racing. I don't think Javelin has to worry about a penalty coming from the stewards, as it really wasn't his fault. But yeah, Fan Modo.
Of note, the battle between Torpedo, Fritz, and Fratters are coming up very closely on Jackson, and they're coming up on him, coming out of a hairpin. And the other McLaren, I think he's went off. That's Stumpy. Stumpy has come to a stop on the racetrack. He's going underway again, but something's wrong with both McLarens in one lap.
Yeah, I think Stumpy just spun a little, and he got shot by the game.
Stumpy is staying on the racetrack.
Carlos Jackson won't be.
Is going to go to the pits. But all of a sudden, the McLarens, which honestly were on pace to get podiums today by chance, now have their races taken away from them.
I mean, I wouldn't count out Stumpy. He's in the top 10. But yeah, I wouldn't count out Stumpy, but I'd definitely count out Carlos Jackson. It's very fortunate for him here today.
Waldo is still out there on medium tires, 19 laps. I think he's going to try and open up as much of a gap as he can, so when he finally does decide to make a stop,
he that is good.
Lose as many positions on track, so he can immediately get back to fighting with Rim. Waldo, quite literally, is going to try and win this race, coming back from a spin.
Yeah, and also you got,
oh, and the Ferrari just got destroyed
what
back there. Fritz has gone around Smish and Turbo. Smish is the one who's gotten destroyed there. He has massive wing damage. Fritz is spun as well.
That is not good. This race is chaotic. Jeez.
Cargo has caught Fratters now. Cargo on medium tires. I don't know if he'll be able to make the mediums last to the end of the race, but he is on mediums right now and in 12th position. With DRS, he might be able to overtake either Fratters or Books ahead of him. Books will have to pit at some point before the race is over, because Books repaired the damage, put on hards, but he will have to jump onto another tire compound, probably softs, before the race ends.
Maybe,
Cargo making a move on the inside of Fratters down the straight. They both have DRS.
Oh, and made a little bit of wheel banging there, but Cargo gets through pretty nicely. Now Cargo's going to have his eyes on 10th place, which is Books. Okay, I'll start doing the that voice now. That hurts my throat massively. And Waldo is in the
Retro
pit.
was trying to climb his way up through the field as he's coming up against Galvin. Both these drivers are going to be ahead, and Smish has retired from the session.
Yeah, Mixto just ahead of Fine Waldo there by a couple of seconds. So, you know, Fine Waldo did very well to pull that gap, and now he's on softs, so he can definitely get past Remixto. And we also have to remember...
Can he make the softs last for 14 laps? That's
they do go that far. But also, Rem has a time penalty of 3 seconds. We know that Waldo is very clean, hardly gets any time penalties unless it's by either the steward or by a super game glitch. And that's Turbo, sending people by. Very nice and very respectful there. Smish last session, obviously tapped in the pits. Felt like giving up and did after that massive crash that he had.
So because he doesn't have any time penalties, Waldo is still realistically your leader. He's only 2.4 seconds out from Rem right now.
Yeah, and obviously Rem has a 3 seconds, so he's basically got the win in the bag if he stays either overtakes Rem or goes in between 2 seconds of him, and he's hammering time on Rem. Obviously Rem's on hard, it's going to be a significant difference, but still, the masterclass that that Racing Point has shown has been absolutely amazing today. And as I was saying about Racing Point, Retrocity got past Shoal.
Cargo has now got the DRS on books going down the main straightaway. This will be his best chance to get back into the points-paying positions and doing it quickly. Oh, here comes the AlphaTauri. He's diving to the inside and very nearly runs Cargo off the track. They're going to be almost 3 wide there. Someone's going to have to pull out, but no one's pulling out. It's going to be Books who's going to lose the most position. No, he's not. He's fighting back. They're still neck and neck, and Torpedo has just gotten destroyed. Something's happened to Torpedo. That car is off the track somewhere. I don't see him.
Is that a safety car?
And that's a full course yellow. It's a full course yellow.
That is going to be very bad for Waldo. He didn't need a safety car, and now he's going to get one. Everybody around him is going to be on soft. And that is going to be
everyone around
very
him on hards, and Waldo is on soft, so Waldo's still going to walk off with this race. There's still nothing anyone can do to him.
The soft under the safety car.
Why, if you already have the race lead and on softs that only have a lap worth of wear? Rim has just pitted to get off the hards, so everyone behind him is probably going to do the same. Again, no one's going to be able to do anything to Waldo.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's it. Like, this safety car just gave Waldo the race. Unless Waldo makes a mistake, he wins this race by default. There's no getting around that.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, only Rem and Snake to be pitting in contention. Obviously, Stumpy, Herbie, and none of the other people at the back are probably going to get off those horrible tyres. Yeah, so Waldo now has 2 people behind him who's on hard. They're not going to really be a threat. Remixo might be, but I think Waldo, obviously he's in first, he's got the safety car restart. Yeah, hopefully he can pull a gap and win this race. I think he's got it in the back though. But anything can happen. Like we saw with Retro in Mexico, the safety car restart. Hopefully he doesn't do that this time though.
Also note, Cargo is now up into 6 because he is not pitted. A bunch of drivers ahead of him have. If Cargo can finish 5th in this race, it will automatically block Waldo out of championship contention. The thing is, though, Cargo is on slightly more mediums. Everyone behind him is on fresh mediums or softs, and the drivers ahead of him are on softs. Now, 2nd and 3rd are on slightly more hards, but those hards will have the ability to take you to the end of this race. So Cargo is in 6th, but he's going to have to do some masterful driving if he wants to hold on to a spot and get into the top 5 and then hold on to a spot there in that top 5.
Yeah, I think Snake would want to block Cargo from getting P5. He'll do everything in his power to defend from him. But I think maybe Cargo could get past him. Those cars are only 5 lap older, but as you said, Snake's stuff's 0 laps old. So, you know, he's going to have very good grip and turning. So it's going to be interesting to see here who overtakes him.
But yeah, without a doubt, it looks like Retro Rixie is going to come home 2nd or 3rd if he can just hold off the drivers behind him. And Waldo is going to zoom off into the night. He's on fresh softs compared to everyone else around him on hard tires. So those softs. I'm not. It will be interesting to see if Waldo can make them last, but if he can pull up enough of a gap on Retro and Shold, he won't have to worry too much about it.
Excuse me, but this is going to be an issue. Turbo, who has been lapped, is currently in the mid-pack. He's behind Cargo and in front of Stumpy. This is going to be interesting for the safety car restart.
Well, probably. I imagine that he won't be able to do it immediately, but if he has any sense, he'll try to move out of the way of the others. But because of the way this track is set up, he's not really going to have a chance to do that until he gets to Sector 2. So that could make things very, very chaotic back there.
Excuse me, but yeah, that could make
Safety
things
car in
very
this lap.
chaotic. In this lap? Or, yeah?
Yep, in this lap.
So I don't get notifications for this game's stupid.
Try to keep an eye on Cargo when we go to the restart. I'm going to be riding on board with Shold coming into the green flag here, seeing if Shold can do anything to Retro Rixie. Both of them are on mashing hard, slightly worn hard tire compounds that should take him to the end of the race. Waldo's on softs that it will be iffy, but he's ideally going to try and make them last to the end of the race as well. Retro, last time he was in this position, spun out a second. That's not going to be the issue this time, though. They're already
Look
green.
at that gap from Waldo. What an amazing safety car restart. Now, Cargo's had a horrible safety car restart. He's lost 2 places. He's going to lose to Snake, maybe even to Herbie. He's going to get overtaken by Herbie. Just go backwards in the safety car restart. Not very lucky. And now Javelin may even get it. This is good. Horrible for Cargo.
He's making the best of it, though. He's stabilized back in the 7th position. The drivers behind him still side by side.
Gone.
Oh, and there's both of the Red Bulls just got involved in the accident there. Both Whippy and Jailbin just got involved in the accident there in Sector 2 and will plummet through the field.
Yeah, that was Javelin getting on the curb there, going a bit back end. And yeah, and basically he hit Herbie. Not on purpose, obviously, and then he went really wiggly all over the track, and obviously Whippy had to do evasive action to not hit his teammate, which he never really wanted to do, so that's very fortunate for Javelin there.
Herbie and Books neck and neck down the front straightaway now.
Look at this. Herbie having more ERS. Oh no, but
and Herbie goes
wide. Yeah, he's going to lose loads of positions. This is like Cargo, he's lost loads of positions now, and now Herbie went from, I think it was 9th to now 12th.
Rim has just gone by Retro. Move Rim up into the 2nd place. Rim is on soft tires as well. They're slightly less worn than Waldo's. He is your best chance to see if anyone can actually fight against Waldo for this race lead, but the gap is already 2.2 seconds, so Rim is going to have to either bet on Waldo making a mistake, or Rim is going to have to put on some of the fastest laps of his life.
And also, you gotta remember that Rebisa has a 3-second time penalty as well. Sure, Retro Rixie and Van Modo do not. This is going to benefit Retro Rixie, I'm sure, if they can keep the lap clean for the remainder of the race.
Sean is dropping off the back of Retro. He's about 2.5 seconds off, so the top 3 very much in the zip code of their own right now. Cargo is fighting, though, with the Mercedes of Books. They're going to be nose to tail coming to the end of the straight, and Books will have DRS on Cargo on the back straightaway. This is the battle for the 6th position. Also of note, though, Stumpy isn't too far away from them. Cargo might be able to make something happen to Stumpy, but Stumpy's trying to make something happen to Short ahead of him. They're going to be neck and neck there for the 4th position now.
The two mates are going side by side. Oh, no, they were. No, sorry.
Oh, my, the nurses went around!
Yeah.
Right there on the inside of Scholl, neck and neck. Cargo, if he can get 5th, it's going to really help him in the championship because it would take Waldo out of championship contention. He's trying hard. He's pushing that Williams on the outside. That Williams has 12-lap old hards. Those hards are not going to be very fast, but coming to the end of the race, they'll come back to him. But Cargo is up in 5th. He needs to finish this high or better to take Waldo out of championship contention, and then it would just be him versus Retro for the title. Rim fastest lap of the race, 109.285. He is less than
Oh, Shoal
1 and
going
a
back
quarter
in.
seconds from
Shoal
Waldo.
going back in.
Shoal is on the outside with the
Yeah.
DRS assisted overtake. He's back ahead of Cargo.
He's back at Cargo. Now Cargo is going to go in the defensive. And now Snake's in there. Snake will shake this all off. Snake.
Oh, look at that dive! He's got DRS as well on the wheels and building DRS on the shoulder.
He's going to come out.
And the Mercedes is there ready to capitalize if this goes bad.
He's going to come out. And
Here
it
comes
looks
the
like,
Mercedes.
oh.
The Mercedes is there now ready to put. Look at that Mercedes! Look at that dive bomb from Books! It was a stupid dive bomb, but it was a risky one, and he went and dived, hit the McLaren of Carlos Jackson, and now he's gonna fall all the way to 13th now.
And now Flanders is going
And
off as
Flanders has gone
well.
off circuit. Cargo needs to open up a gap on Shoal and do it as fast as he can. Shoal has Snake behind him though. Snake has DRS on Shoal, who has DRS on Cargo, so it's a little DRS train now. Flanders has come to a complete stop there in second. All right, he's finally going again. Snake looking to the outside. Now the inside.
Oh,
Not
it
able to do
is
anything. Shoal right there
close.
on Cargo. Oh, wow, look at this. These two cannot leave each other alone, and the fact that Cargo is just close enough so Shoal keeps getting DRS on him means that's even harder for Snake to actually do anything to Shoal.
Yeah, it's making Snake really work for it. Yeah, but it's keeping Cargo as a penalty. I just realised he won't get fifth.
Ah, you're right.
I just realised if Cargo can pull the gap of 3 seconds in about 6 laps, and good on him, but I don't think he can.
Well, he's got a
be
second.
able to.
He's got a gap of 1 second on Shoal right now. Actually, that gap's opening up just a bit. Shoal keeps getting held up by Snake, and it's really, really hurting his ability to keep up with Cargo.
Yeah, it's really hitting us. Shoal's really trying to defend on Snake here, and Shoal now also going to be hard. He's dropping back, but hopefully Snake can get past Shoal and maybe fight Cargo a little bit here. Cargo seems to be just away with it, but he needs to get 3 seconds to
Snake
Shoal.
has DRS on Shoal. Now Snake is in a position that he can consistently go right up against Shoal, and with Shoal no longer having DRS and Cargo ahead, this means it's going to be a very direct fight, with Snake having the advantage.
And that Shoal is in
He's also
the
closing in on
second.
Stumpy as well. A little bit further back behind them, Whippy is in 10th behind Fritz, and they're both behind Careless Jackson. These are the battle for the remaining points in the race.
Oh, Snake! 2 wide for Shoal. Snake gets past
He's
Shoal.
did it! Also, Rim has closed in within 1 and a quarter of Waldo here, with 5 laps to go at the line. If Rim can get a little closer, he'll be within DRS range of Waldo. The thing is, though, Waldo does not have a time penalty. Rim does. Rim needs to encourage Waldo to make some silly mistake that will get him that time penalty.
So yeah, just lost 2 tenths in the first 2
Whippy on the
corners.
inside of Fritz down the front straight.
Ooh, yeah, that was quite saucy.
Also, Cargo is now within DRS range of Stumpy. He's right behind the McLaren. Cargo looking for a recovery drive, starting in the last row. Got involved in an accident early, but he might be able to recover and get enough points to knock out Waldo from championship contention and make it a fight between just himself and Retro coming to the end of the season.
Yeah, now Cargo's going to get held up by Stumpy if he can't get past him pretty soon. That's going to bring Snake into contention, and then that's going to bring Shawn in contention. Shawn doesn't have any penalties. These 3 drivers have penalties. This is going to make it very interesting to see if Shawn can get past Cargo to not bring Cargo into, not knock out Waldo of title contention.
Whippy has the DRS now on Fritz, and Fritz has the DRS on Carlos Jackson once again down the straight. That's a really interesting battle that's going on in the circuit right now.
Oh, Whippy gonna try and go on the outside, doesn't make it work
just got a penalty for track violations.
Okay, and now Whippy's got the DRS. He's gonna have DRS open. He's got the DRS through. Now
They
he's
both
gonna
have
have
DRS,
on
and
Carlos
they're
Jackson.
going. He's gonna make a move on Carlos Jackson. Is he gonna do it? He's doing it. They're swarming the McLaren.
Two
And Books is up there now.
Two overtakes in one corner. In one straight. What an amazing achievement Whippy is. Now he's in 8th, but he has a time penalty of 3 seconds. Carlos Jackson doesn't. But Books has 6 seconds. Fritz has 6 seconds. Herbie at 9 seconds. You run at 6 seconds. And Will Jones out of contention because he's way far back. But yeah, Whippy now needs to get ahead by 3 seconds, and it will secure that 8th place. Now, Schultz has dropped off massively. This may knock out Waldo.
Cargo is in 5th, right behind Stumpy. He has the DRS on the McLaren, but Stumpy is on much fresher tires, and that's keeping Cargo from being able to make an overtake on Stumpy here. Rim is within a second of Waldo in some sections of the track. And the problem is it's not been within sections that you have DRS enabled.
Yeah, it seems like Remixer is very strong in Sector 2, whereas Waldo is very strong in Sector 1 and 2. So, no, 1 and 3, sorry. So, it looks like Remixer's gaining all the time in Sector 2, but not really gaining it in Sector 3 and Sector 1, where he needs it.
Only has 3 seconds. Stumpy ahead has 6. So right now, if Cargo can just stay in the DRS range of Stumpy, he will inherit 4th. Retro is 3rd in comparison. Retro does not have any time penalties, while Rim has 3, but Retro is roughly 5.5 seconds out from Rim.
Now Snake is going to have DRS on the Cargo here. Is he going to make the move? Yeah, no, he's way out. He's gone.
He's too far out for now, but Cargo needs to get by Stumpy Sass. He's looking on the outside of that McLaren, and the McLaren's just going to end ahead for now. But the Alfa Romeo is still going to have DRS. Here comes Mercedes. He's got a better line.
Snake is going to get in there as well. Like Snake going to get past Cargo.
No, he's not, I don't think. Unless he makes a mad dive, he is not going to be able to. All 3 of these drivers have time penalties amongst each other, but if they fight long enough, it will drag Scholl back into it and could knock Cargo back another position. It's the next to last lap right now. Also of note, Rim, 1.1 seconds out from Waldo. He needs to gain closer here through the braking zone. He does not. He loses time to Waldo in the braking zone. He will not be able to compete with Waldo at the end of this race here. He's way faster in the straights, but he's not fast enough in the corners to actually catch Waldo. He's whittled the gap away, but not whittled it away enough. It's going to be Waldo's race to win, despite getting spun on the first lap in the first corner.
Yeah, now Stumpy falling all the way back here to 6th place. Now Cargo
here
is
comes the
now,
Mercedes on the outside.
Yeah, Mercedes, but doesn't. Oh, and it goes really wide actually.
Here comes the McLaren, gets back by.
Now
Snake falls back
McLaren.
to 6th. So Stumpy back up into 5th now. And Stumpy will have DRS on Cargo, but the gap is massive between them. The Mercedes gonna come back in front.
Now Cargo's
gone. To
gone.
come home 4th.
Yeah, he's gonna knock Waldo out of title contention. But to be fair, he's won like, what is it, 4 wins back to back?
It's gonna be 3 wins in a row. 3?
No, I
4.
think it's
4 wins
yeah.
in a row. Yeah, it's 4 wins in a row.
Wow, and now Waldo doing the pitch straight for the last time hit. Oh, and that is Stumpy.
Oh, and the McLaren!
Stumpy's
That's
gone.
Stumpy!
Stumpy's
gone
gone
off.
And he's not
But
moving.
across
Oh,
the
he's
line. Waldo will win the race. Rim will come home 2nd, Retro 3rd, and Cargo will come home with a massive championship and deserving recovery drive will come home in 4th position. Snake in the Mercedes comes home with the... And it's going to be neck and neck for a 6th, and Scholl overtakes Snake at the end by being able to hold on to the track just barely. So Scholl ends up ahead of Snake. Carlos Jackson will come home 7th, Whippy 8th, Books 9th, Fritz 10th, Herbie just out of the points. Stumpy is going to fall all the way to 12th. Fratters is going to fall all the way to 13th position. Absolutely nightmarish day for Fratters. And it's going to be J. Elbin who will be 14th, and then Turbo will be finishing 15th.
Yeah, what an amazing race. You know, we had all of those issues um, with stuff happening and going on. So yeah, it was an amazing race here today. Well done, Waldo. I'm gonna have to go now, unfortunately, but you can get interviews, right? If you want to.
Yeah, I can cover interviews. But thanks for covering the race with us, Ozda.
No worries, and I'll see you guys later.
And the game decides to give Driver of the Day to Remisco, which, considering that the game I'm sorry, too much. The game ruined his day by putting him in the back when he should have been on the front row. Yeah, I guess that's a reasonable response, I guess. But Retro will close in on Cargo by a small amount for the championship. Going into the season finale, it's going to be extremely, extremely close between the two of them. Racing Point 1 and 3 at the end of the day. Outstanding by both of them. But there is your final results of the day. I'm going to try and invite our race winner and our championship contenders into the party real quickly. All right, Waldo, go ahead and include your audio. I've got some good news, and I've got what might be some bad news also. The good news is, Waldo, you have just put on what might be the most incredible drive of the entire season. You got run off the circuit on the first lap and came back to win in dominating fashion. How did you do that?
I don't know. I was so mad after that first corner. Like, just fuming through the laps. I don't know. Just a solid drive. Yeah.
Well, I've got some what might be bad news for you, unless
I
might be doing my calculations wrong. But because Cargo came back and finished 4th, it seems like you have been knocked out of championship contention.
Yeah, that might be. Not sure.
But still,
the difference was 19 points, so I don't know how it goes.
Well, either way, I'm going to say this. With everything considered, the number of poles and races you pulled out, seemingly out of nowhere at the very end of the season, has definitely not only kept our championship contenders very active, it's also made the races themselves very interesting. We've not seen a level of domination in X3 like this entire year, so outright outstanding job from you. There is one more race left. Do you think you can go back to 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 back at the end of the season?
No, I hope so. But I suck at Abu Dhabi, so we'll see.
I think we all suck at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, just please don't let Rem drive next week. I'm so fucking tired of that guy.
Alright, well, that's your word from a race winner. I tried to get Retro into the party, but he isn't. Either he's not able or willing to join. Cargo, I'm just gonna. I really want to talk to you. You're still going to be, as long as nothing comes out post-race with penalties or anything, you're still going to be leading the points. You've knocked out Waldo out of championship contention. One race left. Do you think you still have a serious chance at this title?
I mean, yeah, this is me versus Retro. Just gonna try to finish ahead of him, do what I can, see what happens.
Alright, Yas, we know it's a very, very chaotic event, but it's going to be the two of you. It's been the two of you most of this season, so it's going to be very, very exciting to see what you can pull out. Again, wanted to get Retro in here. He's not able or willing to join the party, whatever, but we want to wish good luck to him and good luck to you, and may the best driver win at what may be one of the worst tracks in the Formula 1 calendar.
Thank you, man.
Well, that's going to be the word from it all at the end. Also, I do want to say one other thing. If you're still here, well, yeah, he is. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure because you and your teammate got 1st and 3rd, you guys will have locked up the Manufacturers' Championship for Racing Point. So good job on that end.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Congrats, guys. Well
I'm
done.
not sure if that's true, but I hope so.
I'm pretty sure it's true, considering that R20 got knocked out and earned no points, and Cargo was behind both of you, and you guys already had a lead in the Manufacturers Championship going into this. So I think you guys locked up the Manufacturers Championship today. So, anyways, yeah, that's basically going to be it, unless either of you have anything else you want to say before we head on to our season finale next week at Abu Dhabi.
I guess not.
Alright. Well, I've been Sane Leader 13. I was joined by XRL Ozda, however, he had to leave before we started the post-race interviews. But we'll be looking forward to you all next week. It's going to be a very, very interesting run. Yas, last year was an extremely chaotic event. We could be looking at a similar result here today. Please be with us next week for the season finale as we crown an X3 champion. I'll be looking forward to it. I'm sure you guys will be looking for it. Same time, same everything. Hopefully without as much of a delay between qualifying and race. Anyways, sayonara.